Now, as the synopsis says, our story does start off with our main character Ariana engaging in a bar fight with two vampires at her workplace called the Spread Eagle. The bar is called the Spread Eagle. I was just like, oh my god, this is so from page 2, when they had it, I was like, oh my god, I had to highlight it. Like, I highlighted a bunch of stuff from here. It's so funny. So, the bar is called Spread Eagle. And another thing that I found absolutely hilarious in this is while she's fighting the vampires and she has one of them pinned down, her best friend Sierra is like coming in obsessed with vampires. Obsessed. And she's just like fangirling over the two vampires, and they're like, you read your little books about teenagers falling in love with 1,000-year-old vamps, or skin is supposed to sparkle like a unicorn's arms, right? And you all get a happy ending. Wrong. Those books are crap. Come with me and I'll teach you about reading real literature. Hemingway, Kerouac, Bukowski. His monologue was cut off by the sight of the thin steak I'd pulled out of my hair. I twirled it in between. I twirled it between my fingers, and the vampire seemed hypnotized by the movement. I smiled at him. Now that you're quiet, let's get one thing straight. I will not have you slandering romance books in my bar. And I'm like, girl, Twilight? I can't. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So today, we're going to be talking about Court of Shadows by C.N. Crawford. I actually read this one on my Kindle. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about it because it's the first book that I got from Kindle Unlimited. I'm currently on the trial. I downloaded a bunch of books. So I'm going to be talking about all of them. Well, we're going to start with this one. This one I think has 4 in the series. And I'm probably going to read all of them because if I'm being honest with you, I have absolutely no idea how I feel about this book. I don't know how I feel about it. I was not taking it seriously at first because of some of the quotes I'm going to read to you in this video. But then it got a little interesting and then it just went right back into weird and ridiculous at the end. But I must say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The book made me cackle quite a few times. And let me just read the synopsis off of Goodreads and you'll see where I'm coming from. So, Court of Shadows by C.N. Crawford. The synopsis. A girl's night out means 3 things to me: drinking whiskey and my best friend, trying not to kill anyone and keep my magic hidden. A supernatural gladiator like me isn't supposed to exist anymore, but my Friday night takes a bad turn when a lethally gorgeous fae, Ruiden, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, tries to assassinate me. He's taken a vow of silence until he's slaughtered the outlaws on his kill list. Outlaws like me. Ruiden lets me live on one condition. I have to earn my place at the Institute of the Shadow Fae. As a powerful demi-fae, I could take the competition, but things fall apart when I'm given an impossible choice: betray my mentor, Ruiden, or my best friend dies. Now I face a quandary my gladiatorial past did not prepare me for. This book is from the Demons of Fire and Night world. Okay, in terms of characters, we have our 2 main characters, Ariana, who is a demi-fae. We don't know what she's mixed with. And Ruiden, who is technically, he's called the Wraith. That's his nickname. He is half fae, half incubus. He's a grandson of the god of night and shadow. He's also the holder of the world key, which is basically a key embedded in his body or a part of his body that allows him to open portals to different worlds. In this world building, it is set in London, post-apocalyptic, where humans live in this world, but there are some outlaws, which are basically supernatural beings that are in the world without permission, because after the apocalypse, humans and fae made a contract where other supernatural beings are locked away in different worlds specifically for them. And there are Fae Knights called Knight of the Shadow Fae Knights, whatever. They're called spell slayers derogatively by the outlaws. They are in charge of patrolling the world and making sure that there are no supernatural beings there. Right? Right. Ariana is one of those outlaws. We don't know how she got there, by the way. We are not sure why she's there. We just know that she has a troubled background being a fighter against her will for one of the Fae men. I don't know if he's nobility. His name is Boleros. He basically kept Ariana captive and made money off of making her fight, giving her the nickname the Amazon Warrior, which we don't really know why she got that, but yeah, that's how that went. He gave her basically a unwilling handmaid. You know what I'm saying, because I can't say the actual word on here, but yes, that person's name is Sierra. Sierra is apparently American. How we find out Sierra is American is hilarious, and I have the right here for you. So they say that Sierra is American and she makes weird American quotes. Like, for instance, after Ariana has the bar fight with the two vampires and they threaten to expose her to the spell slayers, she leaves work, tell them that she's not feeling well, leaves, but while she's leaving, Ariana says to her, wait, if you make it home alive, put cat pee in front of your door mixed with old cabbage. Is that supposed to ward off Fae nobility? Don't know, but Aunt Starlene put it... Oh, hold on. My Kindle just... I'm sorry, who told you to go to sleep? It went to sleep, y'all. We have to wait until it comes back up, but my goodness. Okay, put in passcode. Dunno, but Aunt Starlene put it outside our trailer to keep the police away after she threw an alligator at someone in a McDonald's parking lot, and she set bear traps. She scratched her cheek. Also, she might have shot them. So that that could have actually been the part that kept them out of our trailer. What? Do you see why I didn't take this seriously at first? Between the first quote that I read to you and this one, what part of this gives you serious? It's giving a very unserious book. And I found it so funny. I was like, my goodness, what is happening here? But Ariana leaves. She murks the two vampires. However, someone had already stitched on her to the spell slayers, so they put a tracking rune in the back of her neck. They basically let her go because they see that she could fight, and they're interested in the outlaws that can fight. They bring them in as recruits to the institute, have them go through trials, basically murking them in these trials until one wins, and then they are the recruits for the Knight of the Shadow Fae, whatever. Ariana goes back home. Before they can track her back to her apartment, well, her squatting area, she is approached by Boleros, who said that he has kidnapped Sierra, and in order to get her back, she has to infiltrate the Night Fae Institute, which means that he was the one that had snitched on her in the first place. It wasn't the vampires. And get the world key. At this point, she doesn't know that the world key is a part of Ruoden, who is the wraith who knocked her on her behind and put the tracking rune on her in the first place, because the man is large, and we hear that he's large very often. So that happens. They come through, bring her there. She tries to be unwilling, blah, blah, blah. She goes through, does the trials. Before the end of the last trial, she gets Ruoden to open up to her, finds out that the world key is a part of him, stabs him, goes back to Boleros in order to save Sierra with all of the things that she learned in her training. Then what happens after that? I just read this book. I should not be forgetting what is going on. But after that, goes back, Boleros traps her, gets her to fight Ruoden, and then they work together, murk Boleros, and she runs away with Sierra. And that's the end of the book, where Ruoden finds her. Things that I did not like about this book were the fact that they had Ruoden saying, oh, we didn't hear him speak until the end of the book. it's basically established that he has a kill list of people he wants to murk, and he will not speak until after the list is done, as you heard in the synopsis. At the end of the book, where she is fighting him in the ring, he speaks and says that he's not gonna kill her, which then triggers her to, okay, we can manipulate the shadows and get Boleros. And then after, when he finds her, after she runs away with Sierra, he's speaking again, which I don't understand. If you have him established as he is not breaking this oath, blah blah blah. I didn't really catch a reason why he was supposed to break the oath and start talking. But if there was one, I didn't catch it. So there's that. I didn't really like that he broke that. I didn't like the fact that throughout this entire book, Ariana was either dressed in extremely skimpy clothing or naked. Did not like that. Was not a huge fan. I also didn't like the fact that whenever he did communicate, which is him writing on a piece of paper, it was not italicized, which is a personal thing for me. It just looked like the rest of the dialogue. There was no distinction to be like, okay, he's now saying this, he's now saying that, etc. I did not like that. Other than that, I didn't really have that much of a problem with the stuff in this book. Again, it was funny. I laughed when I needed to laugh. It was serious when it needed to be serious. I quite enjoyed some aspects of this book. I enjoyed the comedy parts of the book. I enjoyed some of the action parts. I do like the fact that Ariana was doing all of this in order to save her best friend. The female bonds in this book were actually quite good. I do not like books where women are fighting against each other for some stupid reason. I do enjoy the fact that because there were like, I think 5 or 6 recruits and 2 of them were female, and I think they were the first female recruits. So the other male recruits there were upset. They were mad. They were bullying her, and they were appropriately handled. Yeah. They were appropriately handled. I'm not going to spoil that part for you guys. If you read it, let me know. If you know, you know. But I do like that her and Melisande started a bond. And I love the fact that even during the trials, she noticed that the queen in one of the demon realms that they went in was suffering. And she didn't know why she was suffering. But she was just like, yep, I'm going to take you back with me. I love that. I hope that she comes back. Because that queen they didn't really mention after that. But I do hope that she comes back, probably in one of the other 3 books here. That was Court of Shadows by C.N. Crawford. I'm about to go read Court of Darkness, which is the second book in this. I'll let y'all know how that goes. But see y'all in the next one.